a genius move on my part when starting BattleTech was doing it in Germany. Because here in Germany, I'm surrounded by veteran BattleTech players who've been playing this game for ages. They've been playing for 5 years, 10 years, 20 years, 30 plus years. Because learning from veterans, from people who've already internalized the rules a long time ago, is just going to be a lot faster than if you're trying to figure out the rules by yourself, by reading the rule book, or maybe you're trying to figure the rules out with a friend who also doesn't know how to play the game. Also, you're gonna have the opportunity to learn like little tips and tricks on how to make your game a little bit faster. And I wanted to put some of that information out there for the new players who are coming into BattleTech in these times when BattleTech seems to be more popular than ever, and is probably getting a lot of new players. So here's one of those tricks. If you're a newcomer to BattleTech but you're a veteran tabletop wargame player, you already know it's going to be a lot of dice rolling. You're going to throw dice and see if you're going to get a specific number or more than a specific number. But this is going to sound a little bit counterintuitive, but hear me out. What if you don't always have to know your target number in advance? What if you just roll the dice and then calculate? I know this is going to sound like heresy to a lot of people, but you can do it, especially in situations where your target number is going to be very high and you know it. For example, you're trying to hit an enemy that's very fast and you're at a longer range. You already know that you're going to need a big number to be able to hit that enemy. Let's take an example situation. We got a Panther here. If you're new to BattleTech, Panther has a PPC and an SRM4, so it's got a long range weapon and a short range weapon. It's been walking, so I'm going to put down a white die with a 1 on it. It's only moved a couple of hexes, so it has a better chance of hitting its opponents. And on the other side, we've got a Wolfhound, which is also a fast light mech. It's been running. It tried to get into those woods there, but wasn't able to make it, but it's behind the woods. So I'm going to put a running die, black die, with a 2 on it. So it's a shooting phase, and the Panther has declared it's going to shoot both of its weapons at the Wolfhound here. Now, it looks like both have range. Like the PPC, it's a long range weapon. It definitely has range. It's just a matter of if it's short range or medium range or long range. It's probably going to be medium range. The SRM4 is a short range weapon, so it's going to be long range. So we already know that the target numbers are going to be pretty high because both mechs have moved around a little bit, and we're starting at 4. There's going to be at least 1 woods hex on the way, and plus some range modifiers. So let's just roll the dice. We don't actually have to know what the target number is. PPC, a 3. That's not going to hit. We already know. We don't have to count anything. It's not going to hit. And the SRM4, a 5. It's also not going to hit. See, now we skipped a big part of what's going to take a lot of time in this game. We just didn't hit. We know already. We don't have to calculate it at all. Now, let's imagine that didn't happen, and we're just going to roll again. PPC, an 11 might hit. SRM4, also an 11, might also hit. All right, and now we can check if we did in fact hit with either of those weapons. So let's calculate. Starting at 4 for the gunnery skill 4, plus 1 for walking, 5. Target movement modifier 2, so we're at 7. And let's check if those woods hexes are in the way or not. It does look like only 1 hex of woods is going to be in the way, so we're at 8. 8. And now we check the range. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 hexes. 8 hexes. That's going to be long range for the SRM4, so plus 4. So the target number for the SRM4 was 12. didn't hit. Now the PPC, that's got a medium range of 12 and a short range of 6. So the target number is 2 less than for the SRM4s. So it was going to be 10, and we rolled an 11. So we did, in fact, hit with the PPC. And now the Wolfhound is going to be in trouble. So I hope my 2 examples here showed you that sometimes it's alright to just roll first and calculate later. Especially if you know that the target number is going to be high or very high, like a 10, 11, or 12. Just roll the dice. If it's a bad roll, just move on. Just move on. You don't have to calculate it. There are also going to be situations where the target number is so low that you can just roll first and then calculate later if you actually did miss. These situations are going to be stuff like kicking in melee combat, especially if your target is not moving much, or maybe if it's even prone, because kicking is -2, and if you're kicking someone who's already down, it's another -2 for being in the adjacent hex. So the target number is going to be very low. It might even be 1 when you hit automatically. So it's going to depend on how much you've moved and if there's any terrain in the target hex. So just roll the dice. If you roll anything that's like more than a 4, you already know you're going to hit. So maybe I can think of more tricks on how to play BattleTech a little bit quicker. And maybe you already have some ideas on how to do that. You can post it in the comments below. But otherwise, that's pretty much the video for this time. Thanks for watching, and see you next time.